Hi, my name is Keith Weedman, and I am with Level 3 by Design. I'm here with Peter Hobler with the X Factor. And today we're going to focus on how responsibility changes the dynamics of divorce. Peter, you've got some experience in this area, correct?
Yes, I do, Keith. Part of me wants to say unfortunately, but actually, we learned so much from the greatest challenges of our life. So yes, I do have some experience in there. How are you today?
I am very good. I would love for you to share a little bit of your experience, something that would be useful for our audience.
Absolutely. Well, everyone out there who's been through or going through divorce knows how challenging divorce is.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it gets to a point where it seems like no matter what you say or do, there's an angry reaction from the ex or ex-to-be. And looking back, I remember how bad things had gotten. And it didn't matter, even if I had a positive intention, the reaction tended to be disbelief. There was a lack of trust. There could be a lot of anger coming back at me. And I didn't know what to do. Having never been through divorce like anyone else when you go through it, I had no idea what to do. But I remember hanging up the phone after a call with my then personal coach on the topic of responsibility. It was the first time it had really ever been brought to my attention. And I walked to the closest mirror and I looked myself right in the eyes and I asked myself, Peter, who's responsible for all the times you react to the ex with such vehement anger? And I realized right then and there, Keith, that it was me and only me. I was the only person responsible for how I reacted to any situation. And I committed in that moment to do my absolute best to remain calm moving forward, no matter what. And I had to have a reason, a really big reason. And that reason was my daughter. Everything we say and do as a parent teaches and impacts our kids. So I realized even if my daughter wasn't present, if I walked away from an interaction with her mom totally upset, it would still affect her because it changed my own behavior. So what is responsibility really? To me, responsibility equates to being in integrity. And you can only be in integrity with others when you're in integrity with yourself. And vice versa, you can only be in integrity with yourself when you're in integrity with others. And and another way of saying that is responsibility is owning your words, choices, and behavior, your actions, your inactions, all the above. And I remember after making this commitment to remain calm, the very next day I had the opportunity to test my resolve, my commitment, as
I can imagine.
as the ex said something, and we were discussing the schedule for our daughter, and when she was going to be with me or mom, whatever. And the ex said something that normally would have just triggered me. It would have really ticked me off. I remember just looking at her. Literally, my head was slightly cocked to the right, and just looking at her, and that pissed her off. And she said, "What are you being so smug about?" And I simply said, "I'm not being smug. I have realized that our daughter is far too important for me to allow myself to continue to react to you. So I'm going to do my best to remain calm so we can make progress and figure things out because of our daughter, for her sake." And looking back, I realized it was all about getting clarity on what I really wanted for my daughter. And that was to create an environment of divorce where she could thrive, even with all these negative underlying dynamics going on. So it seems normal in the realm of divorce for people to blame the ex, shame the ex, and to make excuses when they react for saying or doing something that's hurtful, threatening, accusatory, whatever. And blaming, shaming, and excuse making are the complete opposite of taking personal responsibility. So to me, when you can step into this understanding, get clear on what you want for your kids, and take responsibility for your words, choices, your behavior, and also, just as importantly, you've got to take responsibility for what I call the ripple effect impact of your choices, of your words, of your behavior on those around you. And that includes yourself, of course, your children. But when you understand the ripple effect you want to have, you can shift into taking a true level of integrity-based responsibility.
I really like what you're sharing, Peter, and I can imagine for if this is somebody who's just watching you for the first time today, that they may be in a very different place than you're at today. How do you pull somebody a little further along on their journey?
Well, and it's a great question, because I was caught up in the reactionary behavior and in the underlying negative dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the first question to ask yourself is, what do I really want for my kids? Another way of asking is, what do I really want to create for my children?
Mm-hmm.
What example do I want to set for my kids? Because when we're being reactionary, that's what we're teaching our kids. And a lot of kids who grow up in an environment where their parents are going through getting divorced and it's nasty, that's what kids subconsciously think relationships are supposed to be like in the future. And as these young kids grow older and mature and get in their own relationships, they can be pretty challenging.
I wonder if there's something specific you can tell those who are watching today. What can they do to step in and become more responsible in their divorce?
Absolutely. And I love that. I would start off by asking yourself, what is one small shift, one small change that I can start taking to start bringing responsibility into myself? Because it begins, right in here. And, maybe it's similar to something I did when I realized, wow, I've been so reactive. That's not what I want for my daughter. And I committed to remain calm. But maybe it's just beginning with the next time you feel yourself about to be triggered and react to the ex, just take a few big breaths and commit to remaining calm no matter what. And I find a great response when somebody says something, when an ex says something and you're in disbelief and you want to react. I've taken a big breath and I would just look at her and say, thank you for sharing that.
Very good.
That's it. And it's a great diffuser in the moment for yourself, but also when you've just thanked somebody for sharing, even if it came out with total anger, it's a great diffuser. So
I really like that, Peter.
Start off with one small step. That's the action to take.
And for those that are watching today, please, please, please follow Peter's guidance. See whether or not you can make a positive change with one small step. Thanks so much. Peter, we'll see you again next week for your next weekly insight. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Thank you, Keith. I am as well. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you. You take care.